Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Word of the Day series, where I take your requests to help you pronounce American English words correctly. Today's word was requested by a YouTube viewer, and it was for the word conscientious. Actually, it was for the word conscientiousness. We're going to look at the word conscience, conscious, conscientious, consciousness, and conscientiousness. So a lot of different words that have some similar pronunciations, different spellings. We'll break it down and build up your skills to pronounce the end word, which is conscientiousness. So first, let's look at the word conscience. And what's confusing about this word is that it has the root word science, but we don't pronounce it the same as we do in science. So when I'm pronouncing just the word science, it sounds like science. Science. Which is hard enough by itself because this is kind of a strange spelling, the IE and the C, science. It's just like the word sci or sight. But I don't say science in conscience. My letter SC makes the SH sound in this word. Conscience has first syllable stress, and so that's one of the reasons why the CON says ah in this word. So we're going to write it like with an AH, con. It has a clear vowel and it's held longer. Conscience, long, short. And then this whole thing that says science, 2 syllables in the other word, in the word conscience, just says shunts, which is an SH sound, a vowel schwa, sounds like an N sound, and an S sound. So the CE rule applies, but otherwise the spelling is kind of confusing for this word. So if I think about saying conscience, it's almost like there's no vowel in there at all. It's like a shun, shunts. I'm really trying to reduce and shorten and not have much vowel there. Conscience. A similar word that I wanted to include, because as long as we're talking about conscience, I'd like to talk about conscious. And the only difference you can see here is that conscience has the N and conscious has no N sound. So when I'm saying the word conscious, again, I have my ah sound, con, first syllable stress, long, short, and then I just have shus, my sh, my schwa, and my s sound, conscious. Then when I'm going from conscience to conscientious, some things change. So again, with conscientious, I have third syllable stress, so conscientious. My N is long and has the clear vowel, although I have secondary stress on that first syllable. So I still have a clear vowel on con. It's just not as long as it is in conscience. So I'm going to have my con. And then instead of a reduced sound, an sound for my SCI letters, I have, in this word, it sounds like C, like she, sorry. Con, she, N, shus. So just like my ending here with conscientious, I'm going to go longer. Conscientious. And then if I'm adding, our requested word was conscientiousness, then I have to just add an extra is, NIS-ness. So that would look like this in the IPA. Conscientiousness. If you have trouble sequencing all these sounds and saying the syllables, don't be alarmed. It is difficult. I would start with the stress syllable and build from there. So I would do N, anxious, anxiousness, she-anxiousness, conscientiousness. You can also go very slowly, one syllable at a time. Conscientiousness, and then try to speed up. Conscientiousness, conscientiousness. We also have the word consciousness, which just is conscious plus a ness. Okay, so we covered a lot of different words here. Once you can say a word by itself, you want to start to try to practice it in some short phrases. And people will often comment on my videos asking me to explain the meaning of the words. And I'm really focusing more on pronunciation rather than teaching you the meaning of the words, because people are asking me about words they're already using that they know the meaning of. Sometimes I will clarify because there are words that are similar and it's helpful to know which one is which. In the case of conscience, that's usually used for example, my conscience tells me not to do certain things, so our morals. For conscious, it means aware of, so I'm conscious of the fact that these can be challenging words. Conscientious means I'm careful and thoughtful, so I try to be conscientious when I'm creating videos for you to make sure that they're helpful. And conscientiousness is the noun version of conscientious, which is an adjective. So I appreciate your conscientiousness when you're paying attention to my classes, asking great questions. Great. So hopefully that helps you with those challenging words and looking at how the spelling can be confusing and doesn't really match the sounds in those words. Oftentimes it's useful to know a little bit about the IPA symbols. Those are what I use to represent the vowels and the sounds, where one symbol is one sound. You can learn more about how to use those, particularly for vowels, on my vowels playlist, and also on the free practice on speechmodification.com. So check that out if you have questions. If you have a word you'd like to see in our Word of the Day series, please feel free to leave it in the comments on this video or any of my videos, as well as on speechmodification.com or on our Facebook page. I hope you join me tomorrow for tomorrow's Word of the Day class, as well as on Friday for our free question and answer class, where you can attend live, ask your questions for pronunciation, intonation, anything to help you improve your American accent for personal and professional speech. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. speechmodification.com.